I mean, look at the quality difference between Zoom phone and Zoom computer. So I am just bringing you a more refined quality with Zoom phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at this. Stop it. All right. I mean, we're not stopping it. We're going with it. So I don't know. I'm the only one here, and if someone pops in, I guess we'll know that when it happens. But what we are doing, as per usual, is the monthly read and the key card for my cards and channeling crew, because no one has asked me any specific questions, and until someone shows up, I have no specific questions to answer. So, excuse me one second. Thank you. All right. So let's see who wants to be the last reading of the year / first reading of the year, because time is really, oh, interesting. The deck that has volunteered for this in-between time is the I-Ching. And it is a deck instead of the principal sticks that are involved, but we are gonna pull for no. Okay, hold on. All right. So for our monthly read for this oncoming moon cycle of between the end of the last year and the beginning of this year, we have pulled the I-Ching. 1, 2, 3. And our passages are 50 as the concern, 5 as the opportunity and the obstacle, and 55, what are the opposite, as the advantage version. These are literally 3 cards that were next to each other in the deck because I had to check to see if those are the ones I should get. So we are in that 5-5-E-5 ocean energy. Let's talk about it. So the concern is number 50. There are passages here, so I'm just going to read them. The concern is the cauldron, 50, ting. Above fire, below wind, which is wood as well. Wood below fire, spiritual sustenance. Wood feeds fire and keeps it alive. Without this nourishment, the fire would soon die out. In the same way, people need spiritual sustenance to keep the fire of the human spirit alive. The cauldron is a holy vessel into which one places their life as an offering to the divine. Such devotion leads to supreme good fortune. All good things proceed from this sacrifice, knowing that the etymology of sacrifice is to make sacred, right? What we decide is significant enough and important enough to make paramount in our lives. That's the thing that for which we are making sacrifice, which we are making sacred, because we're saying this is what life is for, right? This is how it's supposed to be invested. So we begin with the concern of spiritual sustenance to keep the fire of the human spirit alive. Like, what is humanity about? What is my humanity about? Who and what am I about as a person? What's significant to me? What am I claiming is actually significant through my actions versus theoretically through my thoughts, through my words? But what am I proving is evident through my deeds, right? Then we go to the opportunity obstacle. Are we using the concern, the spiritual sustenance to keep the fire of the human spirit alive? Are we using this as an opportunity or an obstacle to our existence? We go to number 5, which is waiting. H, S, and a U with an ulot. Above water, below heaven. Water rises to heaven, waiting for rain. When water moves into the sky to create clouds, nothing can be done but to wait for the rain to fall in its own time. Thus, it behooves one to be cheerful and accept the time of waiting. Worry will not change the circumstances any more than it can change the clouds and rain. Bide your time and quietly prepare for the future. Before enlightenment, chopping wood, carrying water. After enlightenment, chopping wood, carrying water. Carry on doing the things that sustain you, that make you feel full and spiritually sustained, you know, present to your life involved in the space and time that you are in. And do those things to the best of your ability while existence is tuning itself and aligning itself for the purpose of, you know, whatever future dimension of Earth you're going to end up on is going to be contingent upon how you choose to spend your beliefs and your time investing in the physicality of your life, which is thereby making the sacrifice of your life by what you end up putting the most material into, and then deciding how that ends up taking you along as and in and of and with your experience, because you are all those things of your experience. And, you know, basically like creating the basin in the cauldron, right? Creating the space for which the sustenance and the magic is held. Creating space by creating, you know, intentional patterns of existence and recreation and physicality and presence and character and holding. The things you do create the space for the way that you live, right? So we have here waiting, but really just allowing things to take the time that they need to take, while we too use that space to do to the best of our ability all those things that we feel called to do. And then advantage aversion. Can't make this shit up, number 55. So we go all the way to, and the advantage aversion is like, what about our character is helping us or hindering us in movement? Abundance, F-E with a little mountain on top, and G. Above thunder, below fire, lightning and thunder, a brief period of success. Lightning and thunder are fleeting phenomena, sometimes occurring faster than we can fully perceive them. So too does success sometimes burst upon the scene only to quickly vanish. One should enjoy times of unexpected abundance and not try to hold on to them or grow discouraged if the abundance wanes. Not everyone is meant for lasting success, but the period of brilliance are gifts nonetheless. So, you know, living for the moment, not conserving our joy, not conserving our interests, not savoring, you know, the thing that we want to taste for later, but appreciating it now because it may not exist later. You know, a lot of people are sitting around thinking, I'll wait until things get better. Better is an idea of the past that we were more comfortable in retrospect, but at that time thought would be our past and that the future would be better, right? So sometimes the future, it gets more complicated. And so, or more, you know, sparse, more strange, more changing. So appreciate what you have before you now, rather than imagining that by withholding from yourself, you will be able to benefit from the having of that thing later. That thing is not promised. You are not promised. You have now. And what you can do with now to the best of your ability is both what you feel called to do and what is consenting to do with you. And that doesn't always just include like a person, place, or thing, right? It's like existence shows up outside of you as everything that is not you. Also, it is you, but you are conducting this part of you. And it shows up outside of you as what isn't you, and it shows you what is in alignment, what is more neutrally placed, so that you can discover if it is in alignment, and what is, you know, repellent or repulsing of you, just naturally not in alignment with you. So 55. First we had, check, the cauldron, then we had waiting, and now we have abundance. So it's like, allow the things that you are investing in, the time to marinate, the time to cook, the time to brew. Appreciate that time is space, and that means there will be waiting in between now and readiness, but understand that that's for a purpose, and that the waiting is for giving the thing the time it needs to develop and become the thing that we are waiting for. And, you know, in the meantime, fill that space out with good work, good practices, good habits, good field experience, good experiential knowledge, appropriate and applicable osmosis to your experience, the things that you would be doing. Could you be doing anything? The things that you say that are you and you would be if things were not in the way of that, or if XYQP wasn't happening. you know, be and that framework, build that framework of you into you to the best of your ability and make space for the magic that is happening. So that's the general read for the people from the I-Ching. Okay, 55 and 55. I mean, existence. Come through, come through.